Hey, Chuck here at Garden Spot Acres. It's great to be able to get back to some projects. The spring weather is warming up and we got a project today, a quick and easy way to display your Ruger Wrangler. A couple cuts, drill a hole and decorate the way you want, and you got yourself like a $10 display stand. Let's go ahead and we'll make a display for this Wrangler here. Let's go ahead and get this display stand started. It only takes like an afternoon and you'll have a beautiful little display for your Ruger Wrangler. Okay, the materials are pretty basic. What I did to make this really easy and less time consuming, Hobby Lobby carries a signboard that's about 16 inches long and about 4 inches wide, and it's nicely routed around the edge, both sides. Really nice quality. So I bought one of those, that's the base. And what else you need is a little bit of 1x3 stock. And I got some clear stuff here because I didn't want to deal with knots. So that's the material you need. Some wood glue, some way to cut an 1.5 inch diameter hole. You can either use a hole saw, a Forstner bit. I wouldn't recommend a spade bit because it kind of gouges and chips out the edges. The Forstner bit probably be the best way to go, but a hole saw does work. I've made a couple of them with the hole saw. They're not too bad. And depending on how much you want to decorate, you can use some conchos. This is all stuff I got from Hobby Lobby, or you can find it online. Dixie Gun Works carries a lot of neat items for gun stocks, which you can use on these display stands too. So a concho is nothing more than like a medallion, and it has like a little screw part on the back. I'll show you those when I decorate. And some tacks. If you've ever seen like the old rifles that are decorated with tacks, you can do the same thing on one of these display stands to dress it up a little bit. But if you want to keep it plain, all you need is the signboard for the base, some 1x3 lumber, some glue, and a way to drill a hole and some way to cut your lumber. And I'm going to give you exact measurements here. And what we want to do is we want to take a piece of the 1x3 and square an end, and then make a cut 7 5/8 inches from the end. In other words, take a piece of this 1x3, 7 5/8 inches long. That's all you're going to need, is that one little piece for your stand. I'm finding getting old is annoying. Not being able to see close things and having stuff at certain distances where bifocals, it's too far for bifocals and it's too close for my regular glasses. So everything's getting a little blurry on me. So I've already squared this end. We're just going to cut this at 7 5/8. And now we're going to make a mark exactly in the center of the width of our 1x3. And we're going to make that 4 3/4 inches from the end. So 4 3/4 from the end. And that's got to be 1 1/4 inches, because a 1x3 is 2.5 inches. So we're going to make that 1 1/4 inches. And we're going to drill a hole right there, 1.5 inches in diameter. We're going to drill our hole. Okay, there's our hole. Now we were 4 5/8. Now if you make your line when you first draw your cross here where you're going to drill your hole, If you go ahead and make your line longer, you don't have to do this again. But it was 4 5/8, which is right there. And if anything, you want to be on your long side of the line. You can cut it right down the middle, but I found if you cut it just a little bit on the long side, you'll make the smaller piece a little bit longer than what would be if you cut it right down the middle. And there we go. There's our front and our back brackets to hold the gun. These boards are really nice quality. They're clear, no knots in them, nicely routed. They're actually finished smooth on both sides. And if you want to do a little bit more hand sanding, you can here. Make them a little bit smoother if you wanted to, you know, to finish them. And you can do that right at the end. Only take a few minutes. Now what we're going to do is now we need to mark out the locations for our front and our back bracket. Now what we're going to do is we're going to measure right from here, like the shoulder of our base, and we're going to measure over 5 inches. And we're going to measure from the other shoulder 3 1/4. Lightly put a mark on there, and those 2 marks are the inside marks for our bracket. Just like that. So 5 inches from here to there, 3 1/4 from there to there. 5 and 3 1/4. Now all these measurements are special just for the Ruger Wrangler. Other revolvers might not fit on this. Okay. So let's see what we got so far. We have a base. I made basically 1 cut to cut our bracket into the piece. Drilled a hole, cut the brackets. 1 cut makes both pieces. And we put our small here, 5 inches from the shoulder, and the larger one, 3 1/4 from the shoulder. Now all we gotta do is put a little glue on those. I don't know if you guys can hear that noise in the background. That is the weather vane up there, and it's windy today. So that baby is flying around. Put a little glue on there. Again, you're not trying to hold, you know, 1,000,000 pounds here. And I'm just going ahead and eyeball this. You know, make sure it's about even from here to here, from there to there. That looks good there. And pop that one on, and you can cover up your line so you don't have to deal with that, sanding that off. I'm going to rest my gun on there for like 20 minutes. And the gun will be enough weight to clamp that down basically. In 20 minutes we'll come back and we'll sand this thing up and we'll decorate it up. Stand is set up, good and sturdy. I'm going to take my sander now, we're going to step outside. We got her sanded up. Now I'm just going to take one of these conchos here. I think I'm using a Morgan Dollar Eagle. You can see it right there. It's tapped back here for a screw. I'm not going to go ahead and countersink this whole thing and put the screw in from the back, or get a longer screw and bother drilling anything from the back. I'm just going to go ahead and find the center. We're going to put that concho in that neighborhood right there. The center would be right there. There. Now I think, oh, that looks good right about there. So I'm going to put that concho in right there. Now what I've done already, I got a drill bit. Now I used a couple drill bits to find one that would fit here, so I just took a piece of scrap. And I want that to fit in there kind of loosely, which that does. And we'll go ahead and drill right there. Come over here to the hot glue gun. And we're going to pop that right in there, just like that. How's that look? I think I'm going to go ahead and put some of those tacks right on here, just to give this a little show. Put it on both sides depending on how you want to display this. So you have a few tacks here and a few here, a few there and a few there. Let me go ahead and put a few tacks in there. Oh, I think I'm going to use these here. These are, I don't know, brass looking, like an antique brass. Now you're going to want to drill holes for these. I'm just trying to see how many I want. If I put one there, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and find the center here. I'm definitely gonna put a tack right in the center. So I'm gonna mark a center point. There. Oh, let's go every 1/2 inch. Again, if you want it to be done after just the base is put together, that's fine too. You don't have to do all these decorations, but this is the kind of fun part. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and drill a pilot hole for all the tacks. Now I don't want to go in the full depth. I'm gonna go about halfway for that. Okay, we've got our holes drilled in here. And kind of got a little stagger to a couple of them. But that would be like the way it would look if a frontiersman was doing his stock, you know, his gun stock. Got a little time, you know, he's not killing buffalo or something. He'd punch some holes in, put the tacks in. I doubt if they're all going to be perfectly lined up. So let me go ahead and sand these off so I get those lines off. Again, I have a board behind here. There was a gap here. You definitely want to put a support back there so you don't damage your brackets. I'm just going to go ahead now and press these in. Oh, it's gonna look pretty cool, I think. And I got copper colored ones. You can get different colors of these. You can get gold, silver, German silver. You know, maybe you want to go a little farther apart with them. I went 1/2 inch. You know, maybe you like to decorate across here. I'm not going to decorate across there, so that's going to be down below the lip of a display. So that doesn't really matter to me. There she is, ready for the finish. That don't look too bad. Again, just trying to give you some ideas and how you can decorate these. And I think maybe on some of the other ones I build for another set of revolvers, maybe I'll space these out a little bit more, not even use them. I do have some Ruger medallions that I'll be using on some other ones. Maybe I'll show you one of those finished when I get it done. Well, there she is before the finish is put on. I just picked up some oil-based polyurethane from Home Depot. This is the most expensive part of the whole thing, but I should be able to do like 20 of these stands with that. I'm just going to go ahead and give this a coating of clear finish. Hey, thanks for coming along today. I appreciate you guys watching. If you could you go ahead and hit a like for this video? Go ahead and share it with your friends and family. I'd really appreciate it. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.